This is Coinbase, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. Thanks to the company they built, they are trusted by millions of customers. Basically, it's a platform that lets you buy, sell, and store cryptocurrency. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, as well as offering services for institutional investors like staking and custody. So when crypto does well and people trade, Coinbase does well. When Coinbase went public in 2021, it was valued at $86 billion. Today, it is part of the S&P 500. Coinbase has nearly 10 million monthly users. But as they have revealed last week, cybercriminals bribed and recruited a group of rogue overseas support agents to steal Coinbase customer data. That's because they've been hit by different types of attacks. The earlier security challenges were about code vulnerabilities. But today, the biggest threats come from targeting their people. In the US, financial attacks through social engineering have increased by over 300% in the last 5 years. In the crypto world, the methods criminals use to steal have been evolving dramatically. And in the last 15 years, the techniques have shifted from technical exploits to human manipulation. And the way these hackers make money today is very different from the way they made money before. And they are not defended against the same. Back when Bitcoin first launched, most people weren't worried about security. The value was too low, the community too small. But as prices rose, so did the attacks. Most early crypto hacks were technical. They exploited code flows and security vulnerabilities, ranging from smart contracts bugs to 51% of the attacks. Mt. Gox is the perfect example of the code era. In 2014, they lost 850 billion Bitcoin, worth about 400 million at the time. Their code had critical vulnerabilities. They were essentially running a multi-billion-dollar exchange on the equivalent of a homemade cash register. At one point, Mt. Gox handled 70% of all transactions worldwide. Their collapse shook the entire industry. People think of it as an ancient history now, but Mt. Gox shaped how every exchange approaches security today. Then came the DAO hack in 2016. Attackers exploited a recursive call vulnerability in the smart contract to drain 60 million in Ethereum. Those technical attacks led to technical solutions: cold storage, multi-signature wallets, code audits. Exchanges got better at protecting the code, so hackers had to find another way in. Around 2017, we started to see more sophisticated attackers enter the scene. State-sponsored groups like Korea's Lazarus began targeting crypto. They weren't just random hackers anymore. They were organized teams with resources and patience. These new attackers mixed technical expertise with early forms of social engineering. In 2019, Binance lost $40 million when hackers used phishing, viruses, and other techniques to steal API keys and two-factor authentication codes from users. They didn't break this platform security directly. They went after users themselves. The hybrid approach marked an important transition. Hackers realized that humans have vulnerabilities too, and they're often easier to exploit than well-audited code. It's hard to break top-tier exchange security these days, but it's surprisingly easy to trick a human. During this period, DeFi exploits became common. Flash loans attacks, price oracle manipulation, rug pulls. Traditional exchanges beefed up security pretty well, but when DeFi protocols appeared, it was going back to the Wild West. New code, new vulnerabilities. By the end of this era, exchanges had mostly solved their technical vulnerabilities, but something else was brewing. Which brings us to today, where social engineering has become the dominant attack vector for major crypto heists. These attacks are now based on social engineering, and things like bribing insiders have become a maximum success rate of around 80%. Technical exploits may work 10 to 20% of the time against a well-secured exchange. But if you can recruit an insider, your success rate jumps to 80% or higher. In February this year, Bybit disclosed a breach where approximately 1.5 billion digital tokens was stolen, the largest crypto heist in history, thanks mostly to compromised insider credentials. What makes Bybit attacks so significant is their scale. 1.5 billion is almost an unimaginable amount to lose. And now, the Coinbase breach, perhaps the most sophisticated social engineering attack we've seen in crypto. Here's what happened. Criminals identified and targeted Coinbase support agents outside the United States. They bribed these agents to abuse their legitimate access to customer support systems. The stolen data included names, emails, addresses, phone numbers, partial account numbers, and even government IDs. Everything needed to follow up attacks. Exchange security teams are fighting so many attacks because of how crypto transactions work. But it's not the technology that's the most vulnerable anymore. Looking at threat intelligence report, you might see millions of blocked attacks, but that doesn't mean that an exchange is safe because the system is only as secure as the humans operating it. The attackers use this data to contact Coinbase customer while posing as support staff. With all this legitimate information at hand, they establish trust easily. Think about it. If someone calls you knowing your name, address, last 4 digits of your account, recent transactions, would you suspect they weren't really from Coinbase? Some attackers, like those targeting Coinbase, are able to recruit insiders with access to customer data and live off of that. They don't even need to break encryption to turn it into an opportunity. No hack, no code, just bribes. The fact is, if you are a modern crypto criminal, you don't need advanced coding skills. There's also a big shift in how these attackers operate that security experts call the long game. If hypothetically attackers wanted immediate access to funds, they'd have to break through multiple technical security layers, hardware security modules, multi-signature wallets, cold storage. But if they take their time gathering data, when they eventually contact customer posing as support, success rates are much higher, leaving all those technical protections effectively bypassed. Most exchanges protect the front door with armed guards and bulletproof glass, but these attackers are bribing someone who already has the key to walk out of the back of the door with blueprints. It's part of what is called recon, recruit, reward. As exchanges and protocols have hardened their code and infrastructure, the technical bar for successful attacks has risen dramatically. Our system is making the attacks yet more sophisticated and successful while defenses are stuck in the past. The evolution from code exploits to social engineering represent a fundamental shift in the crypto security landscape, one that will require not just better technology, but better human system. And for now, that's a challenge that the entire industry is struggling to solve.